Gotta say it's not the same. I don't deny. I won't remind her. 거의 없어 이 도시서 살았던 적들이 기억이 안 나. Yeah. 기억이 안 나. Yeah. 한두 살 때 가르마때 아파트서 울부짖어 엄마 아빠 어디 있어 물어봤었던 그 시절들.
Boom, baby. We're talking about Kathy
Lee.
Yaeji.
Yeaji, yeah.
Yeah, what is up? Could you turn me down a little bit?
Yeah.
I'm a little hot.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Is that good?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
That's Jay. I'm Jesse. This is Roots to Grooves.
Welcome along, everybody.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Sun is shining in Seattle. It's great.
Beautiful.
Shorts and t-shirts weather. It's been a while since we've actually done one of these, even though the audience won't know because we released almost regularly.
we plan ahead.
Last one was a special one, Musi, which we recorded a while ago. If you didn't check that out,
ago.
but it's finally out. Remote interview. He was in Johannesburg. We were here in Seattle. We made the technology happen. Didn't work completely squeaky clean, technology-wise.
Yeah.
But we got there in the end. It's all good. Yeah.
That's a good one, though. That was fun.
Yeah.
And Muzi is a cool guy.
Yeah.
And he's making some cool music as well.
Yeah. So check that out. So sad news, but positive quote right now. Sad news. Tina Turner passed away.
Oh, yeah, just yesterday, right?
Just yesterday, yeah. When we were recording this. So I thought I'd find a quote from her. The quote of the day. She said, "I believe that if you'll just stand up and go, life will open up for you." Universal quote, not just about music, but like, yeah.
I like it.
And I've been loving that notion lately. I'm like, we can have all these ideas about things, but if we don't put things into action, nothing's going to happen. Seems very simple, but taking action sometimes is the hardest thing to do, I think, for a lot of people in music and whatever it is you were trying to do, right? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
You got to put the energy out before you get it back.
Yep.
It's all reflection.
There you go.
I like the analogy of a mirror.
Yeah.
Like if you ask the mirror to, to smile first,
Right.
you're going to be waiting there for a while.
Right.
It's not going to smile.
Ah,
you got to
go.
smile.
There you go.
And then it will reflect back at you.
That's another quote of the day right there. Like that one. Yeah.
I think that's what she's saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
In a different way a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
You put the energy out, it'll reflect back at you. But
Yeah,
you just got to stand up.
Yeah, definitely.
So I like it.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Tina Turner.
Yes. But like we said this week, we're talking about Yaeji. If you don't know, we talk about a new artist every week, and we talk about where they came from, their music, their career, their creative approaches, their mindset. As musicians ourselves, to learn from this. We're not the encyclopedia. We're not like, don't tune in for like the authority of the artist, I guess is the...
Yeah, these artists, one of us just chooses.
Yeah.
Can you turn me down a little bit more? I'm
Even
sorry.
more. Oh
Yeah.
my God, yeah.
You said sometimes we don't know anything about these artists.
Yeah.
Maybe Jay knows, maybe I don't know, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And then we do the research during the week, and we come and have a conversation about what we learned.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
casual. We're just trying to put some cool information out there. We're trying to learn.
Yeah. Spin some tunes. And so Yaeji, she's out of New York, but she's Korean American, right?
Mm-hmm. Born in New York.
Yeah.
Moved to Korea.
Yeah.
Came back.
Yeah.
Let's start with the basics. She does like house music.
Yeah.
Left field pop. Mm-hmm. What else would you call it?
Electronic, shades of R&B in there maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, she has really kind of soft, whispery voice. Mm-hmm. So there's really cool dynamics with that, with her voice, like a lot of reverb on it. Yeah. And then kind of like a tight, housey beat.
Yeah.
Almost a little bit, I can't keep wanting to say almost industrial, some of it, kind of choppy.
Yeah.
But very cool.
Yeah, a lot of synths in there.
Yeah, synthy. Synth poppy.
Chill sometimes. Chill electronica sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, so if you listen to her stuff, she only has like 2 EPs out, 2 EPs and a mixtape.
Yeah.
And then she just released her first debut album.
In April, 2023.
Her first, probably only debut album. I think that's how they
only
work.
debut album, yeah. She alternates between singing in English and Korean, right?
Yeah, like just switches it up right in the same track sometimes.
Yeah. And
a lot of times.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll talk a bit more about that later. Mm-hmm. But and she's DJing as well.
Started as a DJ.
Yeah. And so she's been around since like 2016. She's been releasing music, I think. So not that long ago. Yeah. And she's been like just kind of slowly rising up through the scene, getting interviews with people. Mm-hmm. I first heard about her on Beat the Clock, this YouTube series where they go with a different producer and they give them like, I don't know how long it is, like
10 minutes.
Is it 10 minutes?
Yeah.
They got to make a track from scratch, and they showed her in her like bedroom studio, super simple setup. So that was the first thing. I'd never heard of her, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting how she's like putting this track together, and she just has this like Korg synth, her little field recorder to record vocals in, and then Ableton, and then she was like, okay, so let me check out what she's doing. And I went and heard some tracks that were cool. She has some really great music videos as well that back up some of these singles that I think that were from the EPs as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
We'll get into it. She did some schooling for some graphic design, and she does a lot of her own visuals. Which is very cool.
Definitely
makes the whole project really mesh together well. Started as a DJ, turned kind of house producer. And she's just coming onto the scene, and she's getting a lot of traction. So
let's play another track.
Let's do it.
Crazy, shit is Yaeji, could it, gotta feel it out. When you see that there is more than one thing, open up in a new way, open up on a Monday. You see that there is more than one thing, open up in a new way, open up on a Monday. is crazy, shit is Yaeji. My job, gotta feel it out. Other people, they're left and chom chom. I go, IG, gotta feel it out. When you see that there is more than one thing, open up in a new way, open up on a Monday. You see that there is more than one thing, open up in a new way, open up on a Monday. A new way, open up on a Monday. See that what is here is what ain't there. Open up in a new way, open up on a Monday. See that what is here is what ain't there. Open up in a new way, open up on a Monday. See that what is here is what ain't there. Open up in a new way, open up on a Monday.
Feel It Out by Yeaji. You're listening to Roots to Grooves.
I was feeling it out.
Yeah, that was a vibey track. One of my first tracks of hers I heard. Yeah, like that. So, when did that come out? 2017, so it's an earlier track. We actually opened the show with a track called New York 93, which was her debut single ever. I think she put it on SoundCloud originally, but since deleted it, but then it came out on an EP with her first record deal, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, a track name referencing her birthday.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah. 1993.
August 6th. I mean, let's go.
August 6th. Yeah,
go back to it.
Yeah.
In Flushing, Queens.
Right. Yeah.
So she was born in New York.
Yeah.
And then, I think until like third grade, then she moved to Atlanta.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then after that,
South Korea, I think.
Moved to South Korea.
I think I believe when she was like 8 years old, he said. I don't know how big her family is. Her Wikipedia says single child in a Korean family, but then I saw a video where she's talking about her brother. So got to fix that Wikipedia.
I don't know the details either, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think she necessarily had a super musical background or family.
No.
I think she did learn like flute and violin.
Yeah. And piano a little bit.
Or maybe it was piano.
Yeah. A flute as well, I heard.
Or maybe all of
it. Yeah.
But so she had a little bit of music background, but not like her family was into music a lot.
Although I did read somewhere that apparently her dad used to be in a heavy metal band at some point.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, saw that somewhere. And then he didn't like the popular American pop music when she was growing up, so he would like suppress playing stuff like that to her.
Hiding it away.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, so I think her formative years, it's not really like so much about music as it is about like the cultural differences that she was going through, I think. Because she said she was, when she went to school at Atlanta, she was like the only Korean Asian American in her class. So she said there was a bit of like racism and, shitty comments from other kids as usual. That's what happens,
Kids.
But she said she kind of suppressed it and didn't think it was a thing, And then when she went to South Korea, she said it was kind of a bit of a culture shock. Like she could speak the language fluently. Obviously, her parents like taught her and grew her up with the language. But apparently, she has an accent, like kind of like an American accent.
Right.
She's talking, and she was sort of picked out for that, even as a kid. Like people, she said, old my guys would like hear her talk in the street and be like, "Why are you talking like that?" or something.
Yeah.
Super strange, but yeah.
Just getting judged left and right.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like you can't be who you are in America, then you go to your home country, quote unquote home.
Exactly.
And then you can't be who you are.
Yeah.
Like who? Yeah. But so overall, this gives her a really interesting perspective
Yeah.
And I think overall she's really introspective.
Yeah.
She's that gave her a lot to think about.
Yeah.
About who she is, what her place is in the world,
Yeah.
and what that means.
Yeah.
What it means to be, Korean or American or both. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it seems like, I don't know. She writes a lot. She has a diary.
Yep.
I think she said she has like 5 different kinds of diaries where she puts specific categories of different aspects of life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Some to keep private, some that are more public.
Yeah.
And
that sounds like that's also like not so much. It's like personal as much as it is about her helping her create lyrics, right? So,
100%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
So, the music she makes eventually is kind of created through that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like trying to figure out what she's doing and stuff. I don't know. So I guess in South Korea, she was going to a bunch of different kinds of schools.
Yeah.
Like one school was like an English type school, and they forced her to speak English.
Yeah.
And if she spoke Korean, they would put her in detention.
Right. Yeah. Just crazy. So you go there, you get picked on for speaking in a weird way in the language, and then you end up in a school where they forbid you from speaking Korean whilst you're in Korea.
It sounds like a hectic way to go through adolescence.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think so. She sort of said she turned to the internet, like, and sort of made friends online, kind of thing. I don't know the specifics about that, but I know back in the day, AOL chat thing was a big thing among teenagers. That like, my brother, I think, would like meet people that he's still friends with, like now, like they turned out to not be creepy, crazy old men, like real people. So yeah,
there's real people looking for friendship as well.
Exactly. But yeah, so she eventually comes back to the States, right? And goes to Carnegie Mellon University.
In New York, right?
Pennsylvania, I think.
Oh, that's in Pennsylvania.
Oh, no, sorry, Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
All of them.
Never been
Yeah.
to Pittsburgh.
Home of the Pittsburgh Pirates
Yeah,
baseball team.
there you go.
Yeah. So Carnegie Mellon,
Yeah.
I don't think it's a school for watermelons or cantaloupes.
No,
It's just a name,
just a name. Yeah,
which is interesting.
Carnegie Mellon.
But I believe she went to school for some graphic design.
Yeah,
So she was already, an artist.
yeah. And I think she was like thinking, she's always been design and visual orientated, and I think she saw that as her main path forward, like career wise or whatever.
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
So so as far as the story goes, I guess she was doing that.
Yeah.
Just chugging along,
Yeah,
getting through her classes, doing her thing.
Yeah.
And then she joined the radio station, the college radio station.
Yeah.
She just got introduced through some friends,
Yeah.
got in to do that, and she started, putting out tracks and people were showing her new music.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where she really started to get in the flow of music.
Yeah. I think a lot of people there exposed her to like electronic music, which she started vibing with. There was also apparently like a club night called Hot Mass that she used to go to in Pittsburgh that apparently was like kind of inspired by electronic music of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. People have described it as a place where you couldn't find that music played anywhere else. It was like more like a European kind of nightclub kind of thing. So that was like a big influence on her apparently as well.
Yeah.
Going to that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so all this kind of led up to her becoming a DJ.
Yeah.
So she started DJing.
Yeah.
And doing, DJ events. What do DJs do,
They DJ events. Yeah. Tractor is what she used. Apparently she did this for 2 years. Yeah.
Right, Tractor's DJ software.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can like kind of mix things. I think Tractor has like 4 different
Decks, maybe.
decks. What's the nomenclature there?
Yeah.
Jay's got it. He's a DJ.
I use Serato, and they have, they call them decks in there.
Decks.
Decks. Because, back in the old day, turntable decks, you'd have that. That's what they called them.
Okay.
A pair of decks. 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 Just in case no one knows what I'm saying.
Okay. Okay, Jay.
Yeah.
So, that's how she learned.
Yeah.
She got good at it.
Yeah.
People were getting hyped up.
Yeah.
And then she started doing like remixes and what do you call it? Like covers,
Yeah, yeah.
remix covers, or
Yeah.
both.
Yeah, yeah. Some people. She did "Passion Fruit" by Drake, right? As one of. I don't know if that was early on or later on, but someone in an interview called it a cover, but I hadn't heard it actually, so I'm not sure if it's a remix.
That's
or
what
a
I'm
cover.
saying. I
Yeah,
don't. It could be both.
Yeah,
You know, like a cover with their own twist.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can't remember. I listened to it, but I can't remember the specifics. I don't want to
Right. Yeah.
say wrong stuff because that's the worst.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, she was just getting more into it.
Yeah.
And then what's the next step?
Well, yeah. So Ableton, I guess she was doing those tracks in. I think she had someone show her a little bit about it, but she basically just downloaded the free version, I think, and messed around with it. And actually, I think before that, because she was asked like, what advice would you give to someone getting into music? Steve Lacy route, she said, use your phone. You know, she said just like use the voice memo on your phone to record things. And apparently that's what she used to do, like during her commutes. I think after she graduated college, she had a graphic design job full time. And on her commutes, on the train, on the subway, she'd be like just busting out the voice memo.
Just spitting bars.
Yeah, she said just like recording like little loops. And then using some of the other apps as well to like create beats and stuff like that. Kind of like Steve Lacy did that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think she was like messing around with that and song structure before she got into Ableton. And then, yeah, like I said, she had someone show her a few things, but then she basically taught herself. Like,
Yeah, she seems very self-sufficient.
yeah.
She seems pretty like with it, pretty smart.
She calls herself a detailed workaholic or something like that. Like, so detail-orientated workaholic, I think
Nice.
she said. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, she seems pretty good at whatever she does.
Yeah.
And whatever she wants to do, from her visual stuff.
Yeah.
Like check out her music videos, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it goes really well with the music, and then the music is also dope, obviously.
Yeah.
Which is why we're talking about Yeaji.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I don't know. She's, you know, she did these covers, these remixes, and got some like notoriety for it. She did a Dua Lipa remix that got her pretty big, to the point where she's played Coachella,
Right. Yeah.
and some other big festivals and whatnot.
Yeah. DJing. Boiler Room as well was a big popular online thing. Have you ever checked out any Boiler Room sets from anyone?
Yeah. It comes up every once in a while. I try to check them out.
Yeah.
Sometimes then I forget about Boiler Room and
Yeah.
discover it a couple months later. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, they have some good sets on there. And it's cool because I think she described her DJ set as like, I'm not sure how much of her own music she plays, but she said it's a great opportunity to play like whatever she's into, because it sort of like gives people a deeper sense of where she's coming from versus just her own music, like, which I thought was a really good way of putting it. Like
Kind of a peek behind the curtain.
Yeah. Like here's the stuff that I'm influenced by or what I'm liking right now, and you know,
Time to pay homage a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, where are we at? Basically then, so in this kind of time period from when she was DJing and doing the music radio station in college, she released 2 EPs, a handful of singles.
Signals.
Oh,
Promo in the middle of the episode, like it. Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah.
and then a mixtape,
Yeah.
which isn't really an album, but it's, you know, what it is called, a mixtape.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's like an album of demos.
Yeah. What is that? What is the definition of mixtape? That
I don't know what the definition is. I don't want to say either or, but that's what it kind of seems just off the cuff for me.
It seemed like an album to me. It was pretty lengthy. There's good tracks on there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it. I mean, you guys let us know in the comments.
What is a mixtape? I mean,
It seems kind of ambiguous.
I feel like I know what mixtapes were from back in the hip hop, you know, era, and also the electronic era. But it was mostly like, you know, you're mixing the tracks into each other, kind of thing.
Yeah, I can't remember. Are those tracks mixed in on Yaeji's?
No, I don't think so. Not the Spotify one, at least. It goes like track by track. Yeah.
Then it's not a mixtape.
Exactly.
I think people, if they're too scared to call it their debut album,
Call it a mixtape.
they just call it a mixtape and then be like, oh, when I'm ready to debut.
Yeah. They're like, this is longer than your EP. This is an album. No,
Yeah.
it's a mixtape.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly. Which is fine.
Yeah.
But it's arbitrary. But
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
She started her earlier singles and EPs were less vocally packed,
Right. Yeah.
less vocals,
Yeah.
and a little more housey and stuff, whatever. And then her latest album, which we're about to talk about in 2023, just dropped a month ago.
Yeah.
Is pretty full of vocals.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
there's vocals all over it,
Yeah.
and it leans a little bit more poppy
Right.
as far as the vocals go. The song structures, there's vocals all over them.
Yeah, yeah. Some people have called it angry album, or I guess cathartic. I mean, her picture of her on the album cover is her with a hammer with like a smiley face drawn on it. Is that like a smiley face or?
Yeah. I mean,
quite.
yeah, it's called With a Hammer.
Okay, yeah.
The album.
Yeah.
It's time to talk about it, I guess.
There you go. Yeah,
2003 Yeaji.
yeah,
With a Hammer, 13 songs, 43 minutes.
yeah,
And yeah, so she has a hammer like kind of draped over and then her head turned.
yeah,
So it's kind of like, it's either inviting you to like come along with her
yeah,
if you want to like roll with her and her hammer and her strong energy,
yeah.
or she's like, back off and don't mess with me. Stay away.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of both. I feel like.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
it's a little ambiguous,
Yeah.
which choose your own storyline.
Yeah.
But I guess she has two hammers, is what I hear,
Oh yeah.
and she keeps them.
Like in real life.
Yeah, like
Okay.
like that was a real hammer, obviously, but she has two that she really keeps, and one was used for that photo.
Yeah.
But she keeps two, and it's kind of like a symbol of protection and strength and power.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Don't
so
fuck with Yaeji.
I know she's little, but she's scary
Yeah.
and powerful.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, I mean, I already kind of described that album. It's like housey.
Yeah.
It's flirting with ambient music. It's flirting with what else? I don't know. That's it. Yeah, ambient, or
Yeah.
there's another genre that I was going to mention, like avant-garde.
Okay.
It's kind of like
Experimental.
it's experimental.
Yeah.
But mostly it keeps it pretty housey and boppy all the way through.
Okay. Should we get a taster of this?
Little taster, yeah.
Got a track called For Granted.
When I think about it, I don't even know how it got to be this way, how it got to be so good, how it got to be. When I think about it, I don't even know. Am I saying thank you? Am I enjoying it too? Am I taking it for granted? When I think about it, I don't even know how it got to be this way, how it got to be so good, how it got to be. When I think about it, I don't even know. Am I saying thank you? Am I enjoying it too? Am I taking it for granted? When I sit with myself, do I feel it now? How it got to be this way, how it got to be so good, how it got to be. When I sit with myself, do I feel it now? Am I saying thank you? Am I enjoying it too? Am I taking it for granted? When I think about it, I don't even know. So I stopped the thinking, let it rest and I'll flow. Let it flow. Let it flow. You'll see. Let it go.
For Granted, track by Yeaji from her debut album With a Hammer, came out in April 2023.
I like her upbeat stuff.
Drum and bass stuff in there at the end. Yeah.
I like the up-tempo. Yeaji is my favorite.
Yeah. She said some interesting stuff about this because I think, she decided that this was not going to be a mixtape. This album's going to be an album. I think she kind of thinks it was a bit. She didn't say daunting, but like she said like an album versus everything else she's done is more of like a singular piece of work, like the album, like a self-contained thing. So she said, like, because normally she says she creates track like spontaneously and messy and just kind of goes with the flow. And so she's trying to figure out how to be more singular with this album, with this approach. So apparently she's like thought about it as a story. So like she kind of wrote a story, and kind of put some things together without, I think maybe some drawings or ideas as well, kind of thing. So every time she would sit down in the studio to work on this album, she could go into that story and and she said that gave her singularity to like work from to build the album, which I thought was really interesting. I haven't really heard anyone talk about that in that way. We've heard people say like, oh, this is my most honest work to date. They always say that. It's like the new iPhone. It's like the best iPhone yet. Because they haven't made a next one yet. So yeah, it's the best so far. So
I think that is cool. Kind of using the narrative.
Yeah.
As like a place to jump in point. Like, okay, here's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Here's the headspace.
Yeah.
Here's what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
And she has tons of notes to kind of go in.
Yeah.
And just kind of like, Yeah. Here's what I was thinking about.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and I found, you mentioned earlier she has like 4 different diaries, and they're all about different things. She has like an hourly diary where at the end of the day she'll write down every hour of the day, and then like write down what she did and who she talked to and stuff like that. She described that as like data keeping, like to remember things. She said something like, if you don't remember them, did they actually happen? Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's there's a lot going on in
there's a lot.
head.
Yeah, exactly. And she said from that hourly thing, she can learn a lot about her habits and her emotional state. That's what she gets from that. She has a gratitude diary where she like writes down things she's thankful for that day, I think. She has a brain dump, no filter diary. She said it's the one diary that can't leak anywhere because it's highly personal, And then she has a 5-year diary where apparently like on each sheet of the paper it has like 5 years in it. So every day you'll fill in a page, and then the next day you go to the next page. And then when you're done with the year, you can go back and then you can see what you wrote this day last year, kind of thing. And I think it's like maybe about goals or something like that, or sort of grander like things she wants to achieve or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Or at least being able to reflect on what headspace you were in.
That as well, yeah.
On this day last year.
Yeah.
Was there growth? And maybe she's regressing. Maybe like, oh, I'm getting dumber.
Look what I did last year. Now I'm just eating McDonald's. So that's.
But I mean, it's cool. Yeah, she's very analytical.
Yeah.
And she's willing to put in the time to, do these notations and then reflect upon them.
Yeah.
And see where she's at with the intention of growing and learning.
Yeah.
And so that's, I 100% support that.
Yeah, I mean, I do a similar thing. I have Evernote, right? That app. And I just, every idea, everything, even the notes, the research for the show, I just put it all in there. But it's not organized in the way that Yaeji has it. I can't like go, I can see some dates, but if I update a document, it will like show the latest date, so. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would go that far with I thought about the diary thing, but I'm like, I don't know.
It's not bad. Do whatever you want as far as diarying.
Diaring. What are you doing? I'm diaring over here. I'm diaring.
Stop looking.
Yeah, stop looking.
Close the door.
Yeah.
But it might be a little overboard for a lot of people. You don't need to keep 5 diaries with different categorization styles.
Yeah.
A lot of people just have one diary and just write whatever you want whenever you feel like it.
Yeah, I think it works for different people. Like I have like a note that's like it's almost like affirmations. So like I'll find like things I thought of or quotes I've seen or something interesting someone said or that resonates with me. I put it in there.
Yeah.
And every now and again I'll go back and just reread it. And it's like, it's a reminder of these like notions, these kind of things. And then I have one that's like a goal thing where I'm like, the big things that I want to accomplish. I even had one that was like a list of places I wanted to visit, and I looked back at it a year later and I was like, oh, I've been there now. I can like
already been there.
That's crazy. It's funny because it's like that type of thing. It's like manifesting. It's like because you write it like it's something you want to do, but you don't actively like work on it. Like I think your subconscious works on it, and like the places that I wanted to go that I wrote down, I wasn't actively working on trying to get there, but it just sort of happened through happenstance. And then I go back and it's like, oh, well, that happened. So
yeah.
The
only thing left to do is cross it off the list.
Exactly. Yeah. So it can be really cool. It's probably a really good growth thing and memory thing. And, it's like if you're going to write an autobiography someday and you didn't write anything down, it's like, well, shit, I have to make half of this up now. I don't remember. There was some hazy years back there. I don't know. Yeah. Anyhow.
Use your imagination.
Exactly. But yeah, so that's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I think that is a cool way, just journaling in general, if that's kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It can, it gives, it helps you manifest what you want.
Yeah.
I mean, you could reflect on it, see where you were analytically, but it also gives you an opportunity to be like, here's what I want in my life.
Right. Yeah.
And channel that subconscious, tune it in and focus it so that you can start building that in reality in the 3D.
In the 3D. Soon to be the AI metaverse or whatever.
Yeah. We're going 2D.
We're going back to 2D.
It's coming full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else we got on Yaeji?
I think we said about her production setup was pretty simple. She doesn't have a lot of gear. Just like some good monitors, her mics, her Ableton, her
it looks like
keyboard.
The monitors she had are these ones that she had in her room on the 10-minute.
Yeah, I have them here. The white Yamaha H something series. Yeah,
sure.
They're really good, actually. They're supposed to. You used to see them a lot in professional studios. They have the smaller versions, like because they use them as like monitors that are just supposed to give a neutral sound. Not adding any weird EQ.
Right.
Like, I love them. Good, nice bass.
I love them too.
Yeah. And the white, I like the white color versus
they look
the black
spiffy
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
The black ones look like
it's like a speaker.
They're old. Yeah,
exactly. It's like they used to have, back in the hi-fi system era, you used to have the speakers with the front on it,
Yeah, like the mesh.
Yeah, and I used to like take them off so you could see the speakers, like because it looks cool.
Yeah, it looks way cooler.
Yeah, but
what is that even for?
I think that's just that for aesthetics. I don't know if it does much of it might do a sound thing. There might be a sound reason for it.
Like a pop filter type thing?
Kind of, yeah. Like sort of muffling it somehow, maybe. But
I never knew the science of it.
Yeah. If you know, we've got so many questions. People need to start writing in and giving us answers.
We have more questions than answers.
We could Google this, but we would rather ask the listeners, right?
Yeah. We want to interact with you guys. Let us know what that mesh covering on speakers is for.
Yeah.
Any designers, any engineers out there?
Yeah.
Do we like them? Do we not like them? What's your style? Do you take them off? Do you leave them on?
Right. Incidentally, I tried on the Apple over-the-head headphones the other day in the Apple store. I did not like them at all.
What Apple store did you go to? Where's there one around here?
U District.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you just said, "What's up, bro?" That's my neighborhood.
Oh, is it? Oh, you don't know there's an Apple store?
I didn't. Well, yeah, it's.
This is a while ago.
I live in Roosevelt, but
I actually
it's like
know.
close.
I lie. I was in New Orleans Apple store. Yeah, I wasn't in New District.
That's not where I live.
Yeah,
That's way far away.
Yeah, I tried them on, the overhead ones, and it's not a good sound.
Really?
To me, after like having other headphones and that, I was like, it sounds like mid-range. Like I can't hear like the bass or the detail of the song. It's just all like hollow.
That's weak.
Yeah, it's weak.
Don't buy those.
Not worth it.
Jay does not give his stamp of approval.
No. There's better ones out there. AKG or something. That's what you have, right? We're getting technical here now on this.
No. What do I have? I have. I can't remember mine. I forgot mine today.
Right.
So I have these other ones.
Yeah.
That Jay let me borrow.
Yeah. That are falling apart.
Yeah, they're. Yeah, I like my other ones. What? I can't remember what ones I have.
Yeah. They good though?
I don't.
Good.
Yeah, they're good. I researched them.
Yeah.
I'm not a gear person. I really don't care about.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know what kind of guitar I have.
Right.
I just don't even care.
That's what people used to ask me when I'm a drummer. They're like, "Oh, what drummers do you listen to?" And I'm like, I don't know.
Good ones.
Yeah, I just listen. I was like, I used to say DJ Shadow. Like, he's not a drummer. I was like, yeah, but I am inspired by his beats to drum. That was the weird thing.
Yeah,
like,
which is totally valid.
Yeah. So.
But I mean, yeah, I just don't see. I don't care the brands.
Right. Yeah.
Next week I'll tell you guys what headphones I have. I wear them on all the other episodes.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not like a secret brand or something. It's like a common one, but I think they're really good.
Yeah.
It's not Sennheiser.
I think it might be AKG. I might have seen the logo at some point. I don't know though.
I literally can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't care that much.
There you go. Yeah.
What is this? This is an Apple product.
So Windows Apple.
Yeah. Windows Apple. Apple into the window of my eye.
Damn. Maybe you should start writing diaries so you know what headphones you have. Like,
just for the sake of making my thoughts a little bit clearer.
Yeah.
Because they just come out. So I'm sorry, you guys. Anyway, on that note of being incoherent, that's all I got. Yeaji currently lives in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she just had her album come out. She's probably going to tour. I don't know how she plays live. I know she does a lot of DJing. Mm-hmm. I haven't heard her see her perform any of her music live. Have you come across any of that?
No, not like her.
Yeah.
Because like on this last album or this debut album that she just dropped, there's quite a bit of real instrumentation on there.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen her perform any of that live.
Yeah.
Like with a band.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff I came across online is her DJing.
Yeah.
Just kind of solo, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I would like to see her play with a band. That'd be very interesting to see that style of music played.
Yeah, I think she like mentioned somewhere about maybe she would like to incorporate singing into a DJ set, but she hasn't done it yet. Yeah, Coachella, because also the other thing to say, her parents didn't really know what she was doing or weren't really didn't sound to be that supportive of the music career. But then they saw her play at Coachella and they were like, oh, okay. Because they saw
it's Coachella.
Yeah.
My daughter's cool.
Yeah. And they saw how much work she put into it, and that she's making money from it. So,
Well, if you're making money, then you're successful.
Exactly.
It's the only way.
And yeah, also she said about the Korean lyrics. Apparently she started doing that originally because she didn't want people to understand what she was saying, like English hearing audiences, I guess. Yeah. And then that evolved into her realizing, oh, it's it kind of sounds cool because it's got sort of like an angular language, she said, like with the sounds of the words kind of thing. So a lot of times people think she's rapping, and she said that's great because I think she used to DJ a lot of hip hop when she started out. So she's totally into that type of thing. But yeah, she's kind of half rapping, half singing sometimes. It seems like it sounds like she's rapping sometimes, but talking,
just because you get to concentrate on the syllables, and the pronunciation a little bit more without tying it to meanings, and definitions of what words are being spoken.
Yeah.
I think a lot of singing is close to rap, though.
Yeah,
it's it's not projected in the same way, yo, like I'm rapping.
Yeah.
But the cadence, it's if you break it down, it's very rhythmic.
Yeah.
And very thought out.
Yeah.
Very specific, and it works out in just a really great way.
Yeah.
That's I don't know. A lot of singers are doing as much as a rapper's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to throw shade. That's what I notice when I listen to really good melodies and really good vocalists and singers and writers. Like, they're basically rapping, but also with more melody than some, mid rapper.
Because like singing, it can be like almost not singing a melody, like veering into spoken word territory. I haven't listened to a lot of Bob Dylan, but I feel like because he was like poetry pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all rapping. Everything's rap.
Yeah.
What is rapping? Just you vocalizing in a cadence. That's all singing.
Yeah, and rhythm.
I'm just confused. I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes or, culturally appropriate or anything like that.
Cancel.
But like what? If you're singing, is that not rapping? What is the difference even?
Yeah.
Like by definition.
Spoken. They don't call rapping spoken word, but it is spoken word. But they don't call it that.
Yeah. There's vocal parts that are just you're writing on one note.
Yeah.
Singing, quote unquote. So anyway, I'm confused about what the world is, but as I go through, the stuff gets more confusing.
Well, yeah, and I think that was the thing about Yaeji as well. She doesn't really like fall into one particular genre. And like there was some article I was reading about how like in this modern day, like genres are becoming less important, and apparently like people are picking playlists or things they listen to based on like mood, and they reference like chill hop is like a mood that has become a genre kind of thing. I think that's like, I mean, most artists don't want to categorize themselves or pigeonhole themselves as to I'm a rock. Well, some people do. Some people are, I'm a rock band.
I'm a rock guy.
Exactly. Yeah,
I don't listen to anything else.
Exactly. But like, for me, I like all music. I'll listen to some electronic, some hip hop, some rock. I like to mix it up.
Yeah, you're one of the most all over the place music listeners that I've come across.
Really?
Respect.
Cool. Well, yeah. And Yaeji is something that I like as well. That's very different from stuff. I think that was the interesting thing about music as well. Because for listeners don't know, I've been making some music. We've been making some music. We're always making music, I guess. Yeah. But like, and I heard the guy from Wilco the other day was on a documentary. You know that band Wilco?
Yeah. I'm not super familiar with their
I'm not either.
music, but I know the band for sure.
But I saw an interview and he like described making music in the best way I've heard it, and it was he said basically you listen to a lot of music in your record collection, and you have what influences around you kind of thing, and so then when you write, you're kind of like leaning on those references or things, and then as you write more songs, you're informing yourself as well by like what you did in a previous track and stuff like that. And so it's like there is no like ABC, this is how you do it kind of thing, but it's all basically like the music you create is a culmination of everything you experience and listen to, and it's just there in your subconscious, and you pull on it when needed kind of thing.
Yeah,
which I think is interesting because like on the surface, like I wouldn't make music like Yeaji if I was making a track. But I might get to a certain point in the track where I'm like, oh, that sounds like that thing Yeaji did, and my brain will just like follow that path for a little bit. And, and that's just kind of how it happens. It's like, which I think is really great. And I think that's why genres don't really matter. Like we can all just kind of listen to a lot of music and pull from it when we're in the flow without like specifically doing it. If that makes sense. Like,
no, it's all fluid. It's all changing. Yeah. It's easy to listen to one track in one day when the sun's up,
right?
And you're like, this is this style of music, and this is what the word is to describe that. But then like just what you said, the artist was just like on a whim, like, ooh, this sounds like that artist and this artist. Here's a track,
right?
And everything's changing. That's why music it doesn't sound today like it sounds like from the 1920s. But they used some similar instruments sometimes, It's like very similar, but very different at the same time. And it's always going to be changing.
Yeah. And I think that's like probably an important thing that every musician coming up or aspiring should do is just make the songs and follow your own intuition and your own likes and dislikes.
Yeah.
Don't care about what genre you're in or how you want to be perceived, or
Yeah.
you just kind of have to let all that go. If you're doing it right, it's very hard to let things like that go, I think, but that's a process, something to work on, I think.
That's the best art, when you're doing it for yourself and creating the thing that matches your vibe the most. Like the most yourself possible is probably going to be the best art.
Yeah.
Than trying to recreate anything or use another artist as a stencil.
Yeah. Except if you're writing for pop music and you have 3 seconds to write a verse for the next big pop act and you're getting paid money for it. It's like,
if you're getting paid big money for it, you're probably good at it, and good for you.
Exactly.
And come share the love.
Yeah. And the money.
Yeah. Cha-ching. That's all I got on Yaeji, sir.
Me too, yeah. Good episode.
Pretty cool. Listen to her first couple EPs.
Yeah.
And then listen to her latest album.
Yeah.
And then listen to her mixtape.
Yeah.
That's the order.
All right. That works. Yeah.
That's what I say anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, very cool. I think it was a good combo.
Yeah.
Good talking to you, Jay.
Good talking to you, Jesse.
Let's play out with a Yeaji tune.
Yep.
Right on.
Are you going to do your outro spiel? I'm waiting for you to...
Oh, that's what we're waiting for. Yeah. Let us know in the comments, guys, what the mesh on the speakers mean. Engineers, Yamaha, executives, CEO, let us know what the mesh means. You could let us know on Twitter at Roots to Grooves, on TikTok at Roots to Grooves. No, TikTok is at SIGNL Radio. Instagram at Roots to Grooves. YouTube at Roots to Grooves. That one's like our main one. Watch the video and leave a comment on there.
Yeah.
That's where we like to have conversations. And if you want to get in touch with us directly, hit us up at our email, and Jay's got it for us.
Roots to Grooves at signalradio.com, SIGNL radio.com.
음료수 내가 봤던 영화도 내가 어제 뭘 했는지 기억이 안 나는 이유 내가 마신 음료수 그게 아니야 내가 봤던 영화도 그게 아니야 내가 어제 뭘 했는지 기억이 안 나는 이유 그게 아니야 Bringing out the colors in me I feel so fine Making up for what you can't see I feel so fine 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 아니야 그게 아니야 내가 주고받던 말 그게 아니야 내가 일어난 순간 그게 아니야 내가 뭘 할 줄 아냐고 내가 할 건 다 한다고 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 내가 주고받던 말 그게 아니야 내가 일어난 순간 그게 아니야 내가 뭘 할 줄 아냐고 내가 할 건 다 한다고 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 Bringing out the colors in me I feel so fine Making up for what you can't see I feel so fine 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야 그게 아니야
Roots to Grooves is a production of SIGNL Radio. For more music and independent culture, visit signalradio.com. That's SIGNL radio.com.